Am I the asshole?
Yep.
For not punishing my 4-year-old daughter after she said my sister-in-law smells like fish. My sister-in-law came over with her kids and husband. She walked through the door and asked my daughter for a hug. Elle walked over to her and stopped dead in her tracks before saying, "You smell."
What?
Your kid said I smell like fish. Make her apologize. And she's like, no.
No.
It's like,
You're a
fucking
whore. Yeah.
And 3, and 2, and 1. What's up, and welcome to another episode of Talk Your Shift. I am Mel.
I am Mel.
That is Dom. And I did not know what the hell you were about to do with my hand just there. I was very concerned for a split second you were going to do something to my boob. I was just like,
no,
what's happening?
That's very invasive species. I know that they were giving me the eye before. Like, no.
Yo, shut
Can I tell the story?
Yes, you can
Okay.
tell the story.
Mel not wearing a bra.
No,
So,
I am wearing a bra.
You're wearing a bra.
I said it's a balconette.
What the fuck is this shit made out of?
It's a balconette.
Tissue paper?
It's sheer balconette.
Anyway,
it was at Target.
Mel is wearing cottonelle, apparently. So,
Not cottonelle.
and her boobs are making their presence known. So before, when she was on the phone with her friend, she was like, tell Dom to stop,
I think
staring at my boobs or something like that?
Yeah, I think I told
something
her to
like
stop.
that, or stop commenting. I don't know.
I think I told her
along-
to stop talking about my nipples or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I was like, but they keep looking at me because they're like this. They're like this. Bro has antlers. It like they're sticking out. Like if Mel turns too quick past the counter, she's gonna knock shit over. So, when she has branches coming out, like it's kind of hard for it not to
Why
be in
do
the
you make
face.
it seem like now I got long nipples? like when you said antlers, so they're long.
Yeah.
That's it. Not shaming anyone who does have long nipples. I just don't have long nipples. I'm just fucking ridiculous.
Mel turns and she looks like a fucking triangle.
Could you imagine if I turn to you? It's like I don't have long nipples, and they're
I'd be like, get them away from me.
Yeah, it was
No.
very funny because I looked at my husband. And I was like, how do I look? Because I just got dressed super fast. And I was like, how do I look? And he just looks me up and down real quick. And he's like, you look great. But he made eye contact, fully eye contact.
Because they're looking at you. They don't blink.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so, no, even if you're 25-foot rods weren't out, I would not touch your boob. That's
Okay, thank
you know,
you.
some people, they scoop and stuff. That's weird to me.
Oh, I've never done that to anybody.
Yeah, don't touch. No touchy, no touchy.
No touch.
No touch.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
So, welcome. If this is your first time here, what an interesting first time introduction. Yes, we are Talk Your Shift, and we like to talk about life and fun and personal growth. And yes, and we like to talk about all of the things. Personal growth included. So we are switching things up as we have stated before. So we are going to kick this off with our Am I the Asshole segment first. We're going to give it straight to you. All right.
To you.
Here we go. Am I the asshole?
Yep.
For not punishing my 4-year-old daughter after she said my sister-in-law smells like fish?
No. You smell like fish. You smell like fish. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
I'm 25 and my daughter is 4. My daughter, Elle, was sitting with her dad and her baby brother on the couch, and this was on Thanksgiving. My sister-in-law came over with her kids and husband. She walked through the door and asked my daughter for a hug. Elle walked over to her and stopped dead in her tracks before saying, "You smell." I corrected my daughter and told her that wasn't nice and she should apologize. My daughter proceeded to say, "But mommy, she smells like fish." My sister-in-law got angry and started yelling at my daughter about how she was being disrespectful. My daughter started crying, and I started yelling at my sister-in-law that she had no right to yell at my kid and that she should have talked to me about the issue instead of yelling at her. She proceeded to say she should be punished for what she said. I told her I would not punish my child for saying what she did. Instead, I would talk to her about her actions. She then left, taking her kids, and called me a crazy bitch for not wanting to punish my child. My side of the family are saying that I'm not in the wrong, but my sister-in-law's side is saying I should have punished her for her actions. Am I the asshole? And then there's an edit. Thank you for the confirmation. She saw this post and snapped at me about it and called me a whore. I snapped back saying she had no right to tell me how to raise my child and punish her either. I also said that if she didn't want a child who is 4 to talk about her scent, then she should start washing herself better or stay out of my house.
That was my first thought. Was
the
like,
snapback, or the clapback, not the snapbacks. That's a body thing.
God,
I'm getting old and I don't know all this lingo.
I cannot stand the elderly.
It's just a mistake because I'm already almost done with my coffee. My brain's just moving a little bit too fast. Don't judge me. I know judge you. I judge you sometimes.
You should. You should. I mean,
no, I'm just kidding.
You gotta judge
I
sometimes.
reserve judgment for other people, but I try really hard not to judge. Anyways, yes, the clapback, amazing. I love it. I love to hear something satisfying like that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bitch.
I don't think that you're the asshole. I also, no offense, but I think that's funny as shit that her sister-in-law,
that you called her a whore.
That you called her a whore,
It's like,
what?
Your kid said I smell like fish. Make her apologize. And she's like, no. It's like,
you're a whore. Yeah, what?
That's such a terrible. It's like, no, girly, that's not the right way of.
Oh man.
No. Anyways, first of all, if you don't know anything about kids, understand this. They're going to tell you the truth. And one of the first, listen, they just got here. All they're relying on are their senses. Them nostrils, them senses, sensory over here. If you stinky, they're going to be the first one to be like, ew, you smell. Just wash.
Yeah.
Listen. It's and that poor little girl, she was probably oof. For her
to say something, yeah.
Titi's smelling rancid. That's wild. But yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Also, why do you smell like fish? Were you cooking fish? If you were cooking fish, then I understand.
But then why get mad at that point? You just tell the kid that's not very polite.
But if you smell like fish for another reason, I'm also not going to shame in this way. You might need to go get that checked out. Yeah. On some seriousness. But also, you don't smell it? You have to.
That is something that has always, made me
do people just get used to it? Do people get used to the scent? Is that what it is?
I wonder if maybe people just don't care, because there's no way that you don't smell it, but...
Listen,
unless
you can be stinky
really
in your house, but you can't go to somebody's house stinky.
Maybe some people, like you said, they're just, used to it. They don't really realize, how sometimes, lights buzzing... You don't realize it if it's in your house, but then when someone else comes in, well...
No, I'll say it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But then when you come into someone else's house, you're like, what is that noise? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, what? And they put it out. But, no, I think, I don't think you're the asshole, nor a whore. I mean, I don't know what your background is. What your stats are. I don't know. But, yeah.
But we don't think you're a whore because...
From the post, you
seem nice. And if you are a whore, I think that has nothing to do with your parenting skills.
Yeah, to be
Clearly,
honest.
you just wanted to talk to your daughter and say, hey, we don't say that. It's not nice. Yeah. And I think that was, you tried your best. But the way this woman was just no, punish. It's just relax.
Yeah, having a conversation, I think, will suffice. But then, say if the little girl kept pushing the issue, then that's when it's yo... this is not a conversation, I'm telling you, that's not okay, you can't do that, because you wouldn't if someone else did that to you, and then, if the kid kept being bad, then, yeah, you punish, but...
Let me tell you, kids are so funny, and, I'm just having all these flashbacks of all the stuff with, Ariana. Let me tell you something. This kid, don't smell around this kid. You better come correct to this house, because she's got senses. Like a bloodhound. If you not washed up, she will smell you. And she might not necessarily tell you that you stink, but she probably tell my mother. She'll probably tell my mom. Also, she doesn't like my little sister will literally fart on you.
No.
And she don't care. You fart around her, she's upset. Now, how the hell does that make sense? Then she get all upset, like, ugh, but you literally farted on my lap. Like, you fart, let everybody fart. Like, you can't be upset when another person farts, especially if you be farting. Like, it's not, and she doesn't even say excuse me. Like, I remember she was sitting on my lap and it was just like, boop, boop. Like, I just felt it on my leg. Yeah, and I'm like, girl, did you just fart on me? And she was like, it's like, so don't get mad when someone farts next to you.
You would have one less sibling.
That's all I have to say. So it's just very funny because kids, when I tell you the fucks, they don't
honest.
care. They
They're
don't care.
Very honest.
That's one thing. Oh my God, there's a clip on, I don't remember if it was World Star or Shade Room or something, but one of, I think it's Tyler Perry's shows, they were shooting a scene and someone, I guess, like re-recorded it. The woman is holding the child, like the child actor, that I guess is her child, and she's like saying her line, and you see the kid like this, like in the scene, like covering their face, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, y'all couldn't have reshot that.
Damn, bro has combustion coming in her face.
They don't care. They will, like. Anyways, I don't think she's the asshole. No. I think that, like, you don't have to necessarily... this whole thing of, like, punish them.
Yeah.
It is not going to get it across. Because, like, what? You're going to punish her, put her in a corner, you come back over smelling like fish. She going to do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Or she's just not going to hug you. And then you're just going to be like, well, why won't she hug me? And then you ask him for it, and then she going to tell you stink. And then now you mad all over again.
Yeah.
Having a conversation, I feel like, would have resolved that issue better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the future.
Yeah, my dad, he would always say, like, does the punishment fit the crime? Mm-hmm. So sometimes, like, you can go overboard where it's like, that's not something that, I personally think would entail punishing the child, but have a stern conversation with them, just let them know, like, that is not okay, you don't do that. You could think what you want, you can think what you want, it may be factual, but keep it up here, don't be
let me tell you something. It's like, woo, this coffee is kicking, y'all. So pretty much I was just gonna say that, like, you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that kids are ruthless. And they don't really care about your feelings like that because they don't really understand. Mm-hmm. And so they're living their lives. And if you intrude or infringe upon their life with your smell or any of the things, like, they're gonna say something.
Nah, kids
and
be
that's what I was gonna say. I knew that was gonna lead me to the thing. Adults, I've noticed, when they get embarrassed by a child, are very quick to go to punishment.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be embarrassed. And it's just like, you gotta eat it, man. It's like, kids are gonna, like, I know one of these days, Damien is gonna roast me. Like, I know he's gonna say things or whatever, and it's just like, oh, that's gonna hurt. But at the same time, I'm not going to punish him for it. I'm going to have a conversation with him about it. Mm-hmm. Like, depending on what it is. Because I have conversations with Ariana all the time about just, like, certain things. I don't remember, what was the last time we had a conversation about, like, how you, like, talk to people or... Oh, I don't remember what it was exactly. But I had to, like, have a conversation with her about, you know, just how we interact with people. And, like, that it's not necessarily nice to... I said it's not nice to watch people eat their food and then comment on how fast they ate the food.
That's just weird.
Yeah. Like, if someone eats their food, like, fast, like, there were times where she'd be like, wow. Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm just like, honey, you know, you don't necessarily want to do that because that can hurt somebody's feelings. Like, you don't know how hungry they are. And, like, sometimes when people are hungry, they eat a little bit faster. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Also, she takes forever to eat food. So everybody is fast.
That's because she's fucking around.
I know. She be.
So.
You give her rice with soy sauce and she'll eat that shit up.
Because it's good.
Yeah, it is. It's good. Mm-hmm. But she'll put that on any rice. The kid don't like beans. She don't like beans.
Suspicious. But you know what? At the same time, I don't think it's suspicious because, like, kids can be very picky eaters if you let them be.
Yeah. My mom said she didn't even like beans until she was older. She just liked the sauce.
To be fair, same. I feel like I didn't start eating beans till I was older.
It took me a while to like plátano maduro.
What?
Yes, I only liked tostones. And then when I got older, I had an appreciation for it. So tostones are, if you don't know, they're like regular green plantains, and then the maduro is when it ripens and it's sweet. So you can you can fry them sweet, or you can fry them not sweet, and they're both delicious. But it took me a while to get used to the sweet plantain.
Really?
Yes, but I would tear up tostones like nobody's business. That garlic dipping sauce, what? But now, if I do the maduros, I like them a little bit burnt, like the little black, because it's crispy, and then you sprinkle a little salt on them, so you have like a salty, sweet kind of thing. But yeah, I didn't eat them for years. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't eat them till I was, like, in my 20s.
Really? I feel like kids like sweeter things.
Excuse me. I don't know.
Like, I don't know, maybe certain kids, but I feel like kids inherently just have sweet teeth.
Yeah, but it's also still got a different flavor than regular banana.
Yeah,
there's something off, and I feel like because their senses are still understanding, like, and their palate is still like changing and stuff.
Yeah,
something as tiny as the difference between a sweet plantain and a sweet banana. There is a small difference, and I think that's what causes them to be like, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Ariana will just look at food and be like, I don't like it. It's just like, no. You have to at least taste it. You have to taste it.
Yeah.
But yes, so don't be smelly around kids. And if you are smelly around kids, just kind of laugh it off. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I know there are days where I forget to put deodorant on. Worst. That's the worst. Because especially if you're running around doing errands that day.
Yeah, that should be clearing traffic. That's like your natural emergency siren. Like, you know how on the highways when like the state trooper has their sirens on, or any emergency vehicle has their sirens on, and like everyone parts ways. Yeah. Dog, you don't gotta wait. People are like, I'll excuse myself.
Yeah.
Just.
So you got to get in there and like wipe it down.
No, I mean brush it.
Oh,
brush it their way. Get out of my way, bro.
Oh, that? I thought you meant like you're gonna clean it.
No, anyway. give me some room. Give me some room.
I can't deal with you.
Purposefully farts.
Oh my god, that's terrible. But yes, so that being said, I don't think you're the asshole. You did it the best way that you could. And like sometimes kids just be saying whatever they're gonna say. They just gonna say it.
Yeah, kids are ruthless.
They are.
But they tell you what to fix. So it's true. Yeah, it's true. Like if you smell like fish, so now you are aware
that you smell like fish.
But I appreciate kids for that. I appreciate the fact that they're honest to your face, whereas adults will be like, "Oh hey," and then like you turn around and then they go and talk to someone else. They're like, "Ooh." Like she smelled.
Like how would you feel? I'm very big about like if someone's got like an eye booger or something in their teeth, or they have like a booger in their nose, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Because I would want you to tell me. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing: how would you feel if somebody or me was like what is the nice way of saying, "Hey, you're not necessarily smelling the freshest right now"? Like, what's a nice way? Like. What would you be able to hear that would make you receptive to hearing that you didn't necessarily smell the best in that moment?
I feel like
tone is necessary for me.
Yes.
Tone, I don't know what kind of tone, but there needs to be like, it's got to be light.
I need sincerity.
Yes, it's got to be light, but you're not laughing. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't want you to laugh at me, but I don't want you to be so serious that you're just like... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle.
I don't know. I feel like for the most part, even if someone came at me sideways about it, like depending on how they came at me sideways, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? More so because they came at me sideways, not because of what they're saying. But I don't know. Like, I feel even a joke, because I love roasts. So I feel like even a joke, I think it depends on the situation.
Oh, you
if it's
certainly
in front of a bunch of people,
joke.
then no.
Oh yeah, you certainly could not joke. Oh my god, this reminds me of this story. I don't know if I told you or if I talked about it on the podcast or whatever. I'm just gonna bring it up again. So I remember in elementary school, I was, you know, like the kids, they're getting the hormones and stuff, so they're starting to smell and stuff like that. And there was this one girl, and she smelled a little like armpit. Yeah. And so she just needed some deodorant, and I think she would have been good, right? But the thing is, as a kid, you don't know like if they don't use deodorant at home, like because there's like aluminum and stuff. So now as an adult, you have a better idea of why they don't wear deodorant, or maybe the parents thought that they were too young. You know, there's so many different reasons why people make that decision, right? And so I remember like writing her like a little note.
Aw.
Because I didn't want to embarrass her, but I didn't want other people talking about my friend. So I just wrote a little... Kids are ruthless. So I wrote a little note, and I was like, hey, you know, I just want to let you know, like, that you smell a little bit like armpits, and, like, maybe you need, like, a deodorant or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I tried I really thought about this note when I wrote it to her. So it still could have came out fucked up, you know? And then, so she was, I don't know where this chick is, but if this is like if this is a telltale of the future, girl, you are a boss. So what ended up happening was she calmly like read the note, right? And then she proceeded to write on the note.
Aw.
Okay, right? And I was like, oh, okay, she's not mad at me, right? I'm trying to help my friend. So I read the note.
Yes. Did she clap back? Yeah, that's
She clapped
funny.
back. She was like, she's like, what the hell did she say? She's like, well, I just wanted to let you know that your breath stinks. And I was like, well, now I feel like she's just being malicious. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of what she did. Probably because she thought that instead of you trying to be helpful, she thought like you were trying to come at
I know,
her,
and now all of a sudden I'm like, but thank you. Thank you. If that's really the case that my breath smells, I would want you to let me know. Like, hey, girl, that's why I always have gum. And I'm sorry I'm killing you right now because I have coffee, but it is what it is.
My sense of smell is not what it once was, I feel like.
When we have guests, though, I be having gum. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but it's you. Deal with it. But yeah, when she said that, I said, that shit broke my heart.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
little...
like, why would you say that? I'm trying to be helpful, but she probably could have seen it as me just being mean.
That's what I think. I think that she saw it that way.
But I was just like, damn. Like, when I say there wasn't hesitation at all, she read the note, okay. And then passed it right back. I was like, damn, savage.
Yeah.
I think I was in, like, the 3rd or 4th grade.
Well, that's primetime savagery.
That shit was hilarious. Thinking back on, in the moment, I was mortified. But the good thing was it was on a piece of paper and it wasn't out loud, so I could just sit there embarrassed by myself.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. No, I think like, because like I said, I like jokes. So I don't know. It would depend on the situation. If there's a lot of people around, then I don't know how I would respond to like a joke about it, or even just being spoken to in front of a bunch of people, just because like I don't know, but personally, like if it was one of my friends, I think I'd pull them to the side and the first thought that comes to my mind is like you're not okay mentally, just because like depression makes you feel very lethargic and you don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So that would be the first thing that pops up in my head, and I would ask them like, hey, like, are you doing okay mentally? Just because, I don't want this to come off any type of way, but it does kind of smell a little bit like maybe you haven't been keeping up with your hygiene. I don't know if maybe you just, like, things have just been so bad that you haven't been able to do it, but I just want to let you know before someone else, like, hurts your feelings or anything like that. So that's the first thought that comes to my mind is, like, they're not okay.
Yeah.
But people are going to take things how you want to take it. Like, example with the note. You were nice and stuff. I mean, you also were in 3rd grade, so we don't know because, like,
that's
little
why
kids...
I'm saying I don't know if I just didn't say it delicately enough. But I tried my best. But, you're younger. You're still trying to figure out how to articulate. So I could have very well, like, said it in a way that she just did not like it. She was like, this bitch.
Yo, you stink!
Oh, my God. But, yes, seriously. I think that's the one thing that I would struggle with is, like, if somebody smells, I don't know if I could approach them. I think it's maybe because of this one particular instance where it wasn't received well. So I can tell you there's something in your teeth, your lipstick's messed up. I can tell you your eyeliner's running, any of that kind of stuff. But if it has to do with, like, scent, I won't say anything. I'll be very quiet. because I'm not trying to insult anybody, and I just don't know, if people are even going to be receptive to me, like, telling them.
People, I feel like people take things too personally at times. Like you're just. Listen, this might sound fucked up.
Because if we were trying to embarrass you,
exactly,
we would say this shit in a group setting.
Yeah.
We would, whatever. I mean, mind you, I'm sure that there are people who this tactic also works in that kind of way where they're trying to embarrass you just between you and them. So I'm not even going to put it past, like, people, because toxic people just do shit.
They be toxic.
But for the most part, if you're trying to embarrass somebody, I'm not doing, that's all I'm saying. So, that being said.
And there's something on you, too, if they react a certain way, because people be taking a lot of things personally, and, like, let's break it down. The fact is you stink. So, like,
Jesus Christ.
I am politely letting you know the fact of the situation. So, people are going to take things how they want to take it anyway, so.
Yeah. That was lovely.
Talking about stankiness.
All right, so we are moving on to our beloved meme segment.
Oh, I thought it was section.
Section. I feel like I switch it up sometimes. Y'all know I'm talking about our meme. So, here we go. I scroll the interwebs looking for insightful and just informative conversation starters. Sometimes we stay on topic. Sometimes we don't. You never know what these memes are going to inspire. So, but we like to chit-chat about it. Mm-hmm. So, we're moving on to the meme. I want my kids to surpass me in kindness, outweigh me in love for others, and outgive me in generosity. I don't want to be the ceiling to their potential. I want to be their floor.
Ooh.
Right? That last part was like, I want to be their floor. And I've never heard something like being the bottom of something in a complimentary way.
Say, that shit poetic.
Right?
Yeah.
Found it this morning. Right? Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's a ground level.
Yeah, and it's just like, I just thought it was a really interesting take on parenting and stuff, because when we talk about, I guess the thing that I've been thinking about in my head is legacy, right? Because the holidays are coming up, and, there's traditions, and you've got people carrying on other people's traditions that are no longer here or just aren't able to, or whatever the case may be, or you start new traditions. And so what my husband and I are actively doing is trying to, I believe that part of our legacy, I remember Carlton having this conversation with me like, I don't even remember, like years ago when we first got married. And he was just like, we are the Wall Thrust family, and we are going to represent ourselves in the best way that we can. And we are going to have integrity, and we are going to have pride in ourselves, and we are going to have kindness and love, and we are going to show that. And that was what he prioritizes in our family, and I am 1,000% behind him, because we want, that's what we want for our legacy is, that at the end of the day, when you think of us, when you think of our family and our just our motive and stuff, that it's, we've loved everyone that's been around us. We've been kind. We, we're a shoulder to lean on. Like, that's us. Like,
no, I agree.
And so we want to pass that on to Damien. And so both of us have, sorry, something fell like randomly, and it looked like a bug in the middle of me, like talking about this really beautiful thing. But yes, so we would love to teach Damien the same. So teaching him to be gentle, and it's like, I feel like so many people would be like, oh, well, he's a boy, and he's gonna be rough, and he's this and that and whatever. And it's like, he doesn't have to be rough. He can be strong, but he doesn't have to be rough.
Yeah.
And he can learn to be gentle until it's not time to be gentle anymore. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's just, I feel like, and like you and I have talked where like, at some point you also want to have kids, and
eventually,
like I guess what's your thought on your legacy, or like if you could like instill something, and like what would be the like for you to be the ground level, like the floor, and then for them to exceed that? Like, what do you think your contribution would be, or what you'd like it to be?
There's two things that pop out of my mind, and I initially think of my dad and my grandmother because my dad's mom, everyone on the block knew her. Everyone in the building knew her just because, like, you know, she'd walk around on the like throughout her block and in the building.
Old people love to walk.
Yes,
they love to walk.
Yes,
that's
so you know, everyone knew her. And everyone knew her, and the story that pops up in my mind that my dad would always say is my grandma lived in the building at that point in time for maybe a year, a couple of months, 6 months, something like that. And one of the other residents in the apartment building lived there for like 3 years, 4 years, like exponentially longer than my grandmother. And the resident said to her, they were like, "How do you know everyone? You just moved here." And they were like, "I've been here for years and I don't know half of these people." And she was like, "Well, do you say hello? Do you smile at them?" Like, "Well, they don't smile at me." And my grandmother was like, "Well, how are you going to get to know them then if, you know, you're not taking the first step?" And my dad and my grandmother always instilled that in us, that like, you know, if you see someone on the street, you know, you don't have to become their best friend, but just smile, say hello, you know, have a good day, hold the door for them. And yeah, so just like being kind and friendly to everyone is something that I want to be, I guess, like the ground level for my children, and just like kind of show them, you know, you don't have to be overly social because there's some weirdos out there. But you also don't have to be mean. And like it feels good being kind, and like you never know who you're going to speak to, who you're going to meet. Like one time, not my brightest moment, and I know that my mother watches this podcast, so it was done already, so relax, lady. I saw a homeless person laying under the bridge under Nichols Road. Yeah. It was like midnight again. So, you know, not my strongest suit, but the car was running. I was ready. I was significantly younger than them, not to shame age, but I knew I had them. Like if it came in a foot to foot race, I was gone. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I saw this gentleman laying there and it was cold. It was like starting to get cold. And I just felt so terrible. Like I'm first of all in a warm car. I just came from a warm house, my friend's house. I'm heading home to a warm house. So that's one thing that like kind of like my parents really hammered home in my siblings and I, is that one, like, I mean, not everyone believes in God, and, you know, to each their own, but my parents always would say, like, everything is pretty much a blessing. Like, if God gave it to you, he could take it away. And so we always try to help out people as best as we can, and especially if someone is homeless or something like that, you know, just giving them water, giving them food, giving them a blanket. And so I saw that guy under the bridge, and I just felt so bad. So I had an extra water bottle in the car, and I gave it to him, and I put the blanket like a little bit over because he looked like he was sleeping. So I also didn't want to startle the guy, and then, you know, I get like a sick haymaker, and now he's looking at me. I'm knocked out on the floor, and now we got a lawsuit. So he like woke up and like kind of looked like, yo, what the fuck is this person about to do? So I was like, you know, I'm so sorry. Like I had an extra blanket in the car, like whatever. And him and I spoke, and his backstory was crazy. Like he was a Marine, and the reason why he got into the predicament that he's in is because his wife died. Like his house burned down when he was not there, and his wife and his kids died, and he tried to like get there, but he couldn't. So like he just like lost it. So he you know, he lost his job and just really spiraled out. And he was like, yeah, so he was just telling me that. I'm like, wow, like I'm really sorry that happened, but I'm sure that they're proud of you for at least still trying to push on and like try to make the best of what you currently can do. And it was crazy because obviously he didn't have a car and like he had all of his stuff with him and he was pushing his shopping cart and stuff. And he walked that day like 30 miles.
That's insane.
I was like, whoa, like it was crazy. But, so that's something that I would like to really show my children is that, like my dad says, by the grace of God and then whatever it is, that it's not always necessarily about how hard you work. Sometimes you got to be a little bit lucky. And just as simple as like accidents happen. So God forbid, like you get into an accident and now you can't take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. It's nothing that you did wrong. So you would want someone to be kind to you. And, if say you had to get a limb amputated or something like that, and people are looking at you funny on the street, like obviously, that's not going to feel good. So someone just looking at you and smiling and saying hello or just a friendly conversation, that's something that I want my kids to do just because you don't know what it means to somebody else. And like I said, you might learn some things. And then also too, you could make friendships from certain things. You could learn, some life lessons too, that maybe you didn't realize. And also to get different perspectives, because sometimes you be saying things or doing things that you don't realize might be offensive to somebody. And then when someone else speaks to you about it, you're like, oh, like, okay, I didn't realize that. So I would say that. So kindness, to everyone, even someone who's not kind to you, just because that kind of shows more so where they're at. So in addition to being kind, I want my children to also not take things personally. Oh. Those are the two big things that I want. Because I feel like with not taking things personally comes a lot of strength, in my opinion, just because you can, one, hurt your own feelings quite often if you take things personally.
Yeah.
And two, I don't think it's healthy to take everything personally. Or even if somebody like does something and like it can be applicable to you, just kind of taking it for what it is and being like, oh, okay, they could have said this a little bit kinder, but what they're saying holds some truth. Maybe their approach was wrong, but yeah, so I want my children to be kind to everyone and not take things personally just for their own sake.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's like balance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because my dad always would tell, I mean, I don't know about my younger brother, but I'm assuming he would always tell me to just not, like, who cares? Like, why does it matter? And he would always say, still does say, like, why are you expending a nickel worth of energy on someone who's worth a penny?
That's and it's such true. A good saying, though. It is such
it's
a
true,
good saying.
Because it's like some fucking moron is telling you, like, well, I wouldn't do it that way. And it's like, yeah, you wouldn't do it that way. And that's because you at where you at. So, no, but seriously, like, if you, I saw something that said, if you wouldn't take advice from them, why would you take their criticism?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and that is, so a lot of times,
fuck them.
Like, sometimes, like, when, no, for real, sometimes, like, when I'm feeling really low, because I feel like I'm decent at not taking things personally, but then sometimes I have my moments of where I'm like, oh shit, like, maybe I am trash. And then, like,
oh my gosh, that's like, extreme. Not like
maybe,
trash,
maybe
and you make mistakes.
Like, yeah, but my inner critic is very, very, like,
I know.
intense.
Tell them to chill the hell out.
No,
bro.
My inner critic's intense. So, that's something that has been helping me. Of like, wait, why am I even listening to something that someone is saying that I, one, wouldn't get advice from, and two, like, they're not exactly the best person, so, like, why, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
That makes, wow. Mm-hmm. What a gem. Mm-hmm. That's a nice one right there. Put that in your pocket. Don't make fun of me. I'm being supportive and genuine. And
I know.
Whatever, bitch. Anyways, sincerity out the window. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, you're right. I feel like the thing I want to teach Damien is to it's like it's a difficult thing. It's like I want him to have like sympathy and empathy for people.
Mm.
And I'm like, how do I guess there's a part of me that's nervous that even if I do my best, even if Carlton does his best, like Damien might still end up like an asshole like in the future. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair though, that
Because, sometimes I've met people who were like, ugh, but their parents were so amazing.
yeah.
Not saying that me and Carlton are amazing. I'm just saying like we try our best. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But I guess that's just my fear. I just wanted to throw that in there. But it's not going to stop me from like still
Yeah,
continuing
like
to want him to have empathy and kindness and stuff. And I guess the balance of that is like also not like empathizing and sympathizing, but not allowing people to step over you.
Yeah.
And
Like, don't embody that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because Carlton's very good at setting boundaries, and I'm getting better at it. And so I'm hoping with, like, as I'm practicing, having, like, more difficult conversations and things like that, that, like, it'll be easier down the road for me to kind of navigate with, Damien when he, like, struggles with certain things or whatever,
Yeah.
And that's if he decides that he's coming to me with that. Because you never know what a person is comfortable with speaking to their parents about, or if it's something that they need like an aunt or a friend or
Yeah.
something. But I would hope that there'd be open communication and that he could at least feel safe with us,
Yeah.
even if he knew he was going to get in trouble. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Oh my gosh,
That shit was loaded. Bless you.
holy crap. No, it's because my nose is cold. It's winter, guys. It's winter.
That was very Christine of you. It's winter.
It's winter.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I literally
gosh,
see
you're
your
right.
face. You're like, oh my god.
That's right. She does do that with her teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I feel like little pieces of other people rub off on me when I'm around them a lot or I talk to them a lot.
Well,
Like
yeah.
sometimes that happens. You ever end up? I know this is totally off topic, but you ever like laugh, like accidentally grab somebody's laugh for a split second?
Yo, because when we first started filming everything, I noticed that one time I laughed and it was like you. And I was like,
Oh my god, the way you said that was like, it was like you.
no, it was just because it wasn't me. And I was like,
Yeah, true.
what the fuck just came out of me? Like,
I know, it's so
I was
random.
like, whoa, like that wasn't me.
I wonder why we do that. It's like birds. You know how
Yeah,
birds are
yeah.
like they make all sorts of sounds and stuff.
Yeah. She said, wah.
This is the birds around here is fucked up. They just make all sorts of sounds. I don't know what kind of birds is over here. Oh my god, the fucking story with the pigeon. I don't know if I ever told you guys the story about the pigeon. I know you know about the pigeon. Where like I was looking at some beautiful bird on the deck. Cause the thing is alright. Like, this is a short story.
Defend yourself.
I'm defending. So I have a fear of birds, and they make me nervous. I've definitely gotten better over time, but they still make me nervous. So it is what it is. We can't be perfect. Like, there's got to be something weird with all of us. So anyways, I'm looking out the window, and I notice this really beautiful beige, like, bird. And I'm like, wow. This bird is so pretty. It's like got these beautiful light feathers, the way that the beige and the brown blend in with the whitish gray. It was gorgeous, right? And then so I'm like looking at this bird. And so I call Carlton up at work and I'm like, hey, babe, oh my God, there's this beautiful bird. I didn't get to take a picture of it, but it's gorgeous and stuff. And he's like, oh, yeah? Like what kind of bird? Like what does it look like? And I'm describing this gorgeous bird. And he's like, oh, yeah, so like, what size? Like, how big is it? And I'm like, oh, it's about the size of a pigeon, I would say. And he's like, that's a pigeon. And I was like, no, it's not. It is not a pigeon. Lo and behold, I was oohing and on over a pigeon, over a light-skinned pigeon. Over a beige pigeon. Like, and the thing is, pigeons are, when you look at them, they're kind of funny, and they are kind of cute. They just don't have facial expressions, and that's the thing that makes me nervous about birds, is because they don't look angry when they're angry. Like, they just have like open eyes and they're just looking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I can't tell, so that's why they make me nervous. But anyways, that being said, it was a pigeon, and then Carlton and I proceeded to have a debate on the difference between a dove and a pigeon, which apparently doves and pigeons are related, or like doves are in the pigeon family, or pigeons are in the dove family, something
There's
like
some
that.
relation. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
So I was a little embarrassed, but at the same time, it was a beautiful bird. It was
To
a
be
beautiful
fair-
pigeon.
to be fair,
There are no birds that size other than pigeons.
yes, but I think also too, because you pretty much grew up in like Brooklyn and Queens, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
for
then
you,
half
pigeons-
my life, and then the other half of my life was in Long Island.
Yeah, so pigeons. The
Pigeons and
that
seagulls.
you're used to.
Well, not
don't
cute.
Look like that.
Well,
no.
not cute. They were cute, but weren't like.
They're like
not
iridescent.
elegant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're iridescent. They're missing legs. Like
They
I've
are
seen some
sometimes.
fucked up pigeons in the
I
city.
know.
I feel so bad, but they persevere.
They
so.
do. Do you know that pigeons? I just found this out. Pigeons are terrible nest makers. Like there was a whole thing on Instagram. I don't know how true this is, but it was hilarious. It was a hilarious picture where it was like the pigeon like threw down like 1 or 2 twigs, and there's the egg right next to the twig. Like low effort, and these motherfuckers is thriving. So maybe those other birds don't have to. Maybe they don't need to go as hard with the nest. Maybe that's the problem. They're spending too much time on their nest and not enough time just, I don't know, airing out the eggs. Like, I don't know.
Airing out the eggs, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I think because like when I think of pigeons, like I said, I think of the burrows. Where the fuck do you see bird nests? You don't.
You do.
Barely.
You do. I've seen them in
Maybe in like the suburbs of like Jackson Heights.
No, you'll see nests in like terrible places, like vents and like air conditioning.
I've never seen
things and like they're just in terrible places.
Never
I've
seen
seen
it.
a nest.
So to me, that's why it's like sometimes I have to remind myself that
That
they
pigeons
don't just,
are birds.
Yeah, they don't just like spawn. Like I feel like.
Oh my god!
And I've never seen a baby
Who's
pigeon.
that Pokemon? That's literally what I'm thinking.
Literally, like. No, you know what I was thinking of? Jackie always says this. She's like, the birds are a part of the bourgeoisie. But, you never heard that conspiracy theory?
No.
Like, the conspiracy theory around pigeons?
No. What's the conspiracy theory around
That
pigeons?
they're not actual animals. That they're, like, robotic.
I have heard that.
I love that conspiracy theory just because I think it's so funny. Because then when you look at a pigeon and they're like, and their eyes are blinking, it's like,
You taking pictures of me?
yeah, literally, it's like, that looks like a camera. But
That's wild. I mean, their eyes are big as fuck.
Their eyes are pretty big.
They're like,
They just do their thing. I like pigeons for that. Like, I don't think they're pretty, in my personal opinion. Even the...
I never said they were pretty. I said they were kind of cute.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, Adam.
The beige one was cute. And sometimes the pigeons are cute. I don't know. I'm scared of birds, but I can at least respect them as animals. You know what I mean? And I'm like, they're cute. Like, I certainly think, like, there's some other fucked up looking birds. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, some birds are, like, they don't have to have, like, elegant feathers and stuff like that for them to be pretty. Like, finches are kind of cute, too.
Okay.
Because they're little and, like, but they're beige, so they don't have, like, color, but they're kind of cute, like, with the little hair. I just think pigeons are adorable because of the way they walk. Because their heads move, and when they move faster, their heads, like, bob, like, even as quick as their, like, feet move. And I think that's hilarious.
They're just vibing.
Could you imagine if that's how we walked? Like, fucking Disney. No wonder their eyes are so fucking wide open. The world is spinning, man. They're like in nitro, like.
Oh my god.
So, anyways.
Constant state of the spins.
Yes. All right. That was lovely. All right, Dom. Hit us.
What a turnaround.
With
like,
some.
Yeah, we really want our family legacy. So, birds.
I know, right? Birds.
All right.
Birds.
So.
Oh my god. Birds.
Are you thinking of the Oh My God shows?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for understanding that reference because nobody else in this house knows what I'm talking about. They never see. I'm going to show them the video today.
I hope you do because
it's necessary.
That was like
highlight of like what
YouTube.
Was that? Is that junior high for me or is that high school? It was high school for me, freshman year. You were probably
that was
in
elementary
preschool.
School. Let's calm down. calm down. All right.
All right.
Jeez.
What do you have for us?
I have an affirmation.
Affirmation.
So, for today's affirmation, give me a slightly audible drum roll with an accent from time to time. That works. So, for today, I will tell you this. I am disciplined in my pursuit of knowledge and continuous learning. So,
Yes.
with that being said, I hope that affirmation resonates with you. And if it does not, then please, I'll be nice. Then please come back for another episode to see if there's another affirmation that you can apply to your life, or maybe for a loved one that you want to tell them, and also to give us more views. But yeah, I hope that resonates, and if it doesn't, I hope something takes place in your life that helps you figure out what you're doing, because I feel like life is kind of tricky like that.
Yeah.
You just be walking down the street and you overhear a conversation and you're like, holy shit. Like, now I get it. Now I understand, like, one of the lessons I have to learn. So,
I don't think that's ever happened to me.
Really? Sometimes I'll be seeing people do stuff and then I'm like, oh my God. That happens a lot with my mentor.
Oh.
She'll be talking about stuff and I'm like,
yeah.
son of a bitch. But yeah, so if it doesn't resonate with you, please share it with a loved one or maybe a hated one, to see if it helps them out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Anyway, you could find us on a couple of different subway platforms, such as TikTok, Instagram. We have an email that, send us some stuff in our inbox. We're lonely. We also have a Patreon. We also have YouTube, as you guys know, because you might be watching us on there. We also have Spotify and Apple Music, so please do us a favor and leave us a good rating. And then, what's the thing you do?
Bring us up to a more recommended podcasts.
Yeah, so give us a good rating, please. Otherwise, I will hunt you down and find you. And then do us a very big favor and drop the largest Christmas box you can on the subscribe button and uppercut the like button. And that's it for my piece side.
Yeah, we are Talk Your Shift on all platforms. So join the 4 of us bi-weekly.
4 of us?
Yes. You, me, and my nipples.
Oh my God. You mean your fucking totem poles? Yo, that shit
What does
crazy.
that even mean? Why do you keep making them like massively long?
Because it's funny.
It's like, oh, your freaking apartment buildings? Like, it's
Literally.
just going to get your skyscrapers?
I was going to say, it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Anyways.
Her antennas.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon. All right? Bye.